take a break, and then come and take me out of here." Those words were spoken by Omaira, a girl driven by the mood and winds caused by the explosion of Nevado del Ruiz in Colombia in the 1995 of November 13. The avalanche took more than 25,000 lives. One of those lives were the life of Armero. Armero died after being trapped for 3 days, and after the rescuers and a doctor couldn't take her out of the mud and the winds.
Thousands of missing people who did not get any goals had to suffer the same agony and anguish than Omaira, and not just in Armero. A lot of towns and villages are affected by avalanche of ash, lava, rocks, snows, and mud expelled by Nevado del Ruiz. No one sleeping lion by the locals who last eruption had occurred 140 years ago. Unable to rescue the buried 22,000 bodies, Armero was declared cemetery. The lion woke up at 9 in the evening of November 13, spewing 30 million tons of materials, causing the melt of 5,400 meters of snow. This generates 4 tributaries of lava, water, and ice. Armero literally disappeared from the map. This is the second deadliest volcanic eruption of the 20th century and a quarter of all natural disasters in the Colombian history.
According to ABC, the survivors told that 100 kilometers away Nevado del Ruiz place the river still dragging bodies, cars, and remains of houses. So the army established a security cordon of 200 kilometers radius around the volcano. The few survivors remained trapped on trees, rooftops, and hills, waiting for a helicopter to rescue them. In Guayabal, for example, hundreds of petrified in the mud dead were piled as thousands of people were running miles, naked with a look of fear on their face. Bridges collapsed, a pipeline broke and contaminated water from rivers, and many villages were left without electricity or inclusive medicine. The testimonies of living sources describing horrific scenes. "I was once sleeping and I felt the house sliding. I heard one of my children screaming, 'Daddy, Daddy!' I walked him until he was on a hill. Then I wanted to go back home and it was gone. My wife and 2 of my children were unable to leave." Another, "Where there was only near Armero now. People were buried in the mud." Another, "By the waters of one of the rivers dozens of bodies. It looks like a cement slab. My God, it's unfair that I'm not alive and my brothers are dead. Where are my children?" They were some of the testimonies collected to the correspondent ABC. The scene of horror were endless. Another man that he had both legs amputated because of gangrene told the correspondent of ABC. Desperate, Natchez and connived to a lifeguard and nailed himself to take his own life. The tragedy has not just begun. Another live out of the scene of that tragedy impossible to forget lamented. 20 years later, a survivor recorded tearfully, "I saw thousands of countrymen who froze in the mud with a face of pain that I could not forget."
Created using Powtoon.